What's up guys, it's Nick here from F150LEs.com. Today we've got our 21 Ford Bronco here in the shop. And we're going to be showing you how to install this fantastic 210 watt Cree XTE Paladin LED bar here on the roof. It's extremely bright, it looks fantastic whether the light is on or off, and it's easy to install, and we're going to show you how it's done right now. Before we jump into it, please take a quick second to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps other Ford owners just like you find our content. Thanks, we really appreciate your support. Okay, the first thing that we need to do is mount our brackets directly to the Bronco. So we're going to be using these accessory ready mounts that Ford has built into the Bronco for us. So you're just going to push in on a button here on the back and pull up on this paint to match cover. And then we're going to remove this plastic piece here by removing these two 10mm bolts using your ratchet or wrench. With those nuts removed, we'll be able to pull up on this plastic piece. Just like so. Now we're going to take our F150 LEDs 210 watt bar mount here, and we're going to place it right as you see, making sure that our long arm here is on the outside of the vehicle, not the inside. And then we're going to replace our plastic piece like so. That way we can get our paint to match cover reinstalled even with the LED bar in place. Just go ahead and hand thread these nuts back in. And then you're going to want to just make sure that your bracket arm is aligned up against the wall here of this channel, as far out as it will go. And then we're going to retighten these two nuts. And once these are tightened down all the way, we'll be able to get our paint to match cover reinstalled. You'll just hang the front cover over here and then push in on the back, and then we're going to repeat for the other side. Okay, now we're ready to mount our bar. Now this part of the installation, it's helpful to have another pair of hands, but it's not necessary. So if you're doing it alone like I am today, you can thread in your bolt here on the passenger side, 3 or 4 threads like so, and we're going to use that to rest on the bracket on the other side. And that will allow us to make our connection here, and then we'll be able to switch to the passenger side and install our bolt right through the bracket. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and use our included bolt here. And then I'm just going to connect it right into the bar like so. And I'm going to go about 6 threads like so. And then I'll let the bar hang, making sure that it's firmly seated on top of that other bracket, not going to fall. And now we can transition to the passenger side. Now on our passenger side here, we'll be able to remove our bolt, insert it through our bracket there. Now that we've got both bolts attached to the bar and through the brackets, we'll be able to use a size 14 socket and ratchet or a wrench. But before we fully tighten this side, we're going to want to evenly tighten on both sides. So we'll get the bar, we'll tighten some here and then we'll tighten on the driver and vice back and forth. That way we make sure that the bar is even across both sides of the truck. If we fully tighten one side, it's going to pull the bar. For example, if we fully tighten the passenger side, it would pull the bar this way, and we want it to be even. With our bar installed on the roof, now we need to run our power cable into the engine bay so that we can connect for power. So how we're going to do that is we're going to pop this panel up right here so that our harness from our LED bar can run under it and into the engine bay. So there's one screw that we need to remove. It's a Torx plus 30. Make sure you're using a plus bit, not the standard Torx, or else you can thread these Bronco bolts out pretty easy. Once this bolt is removed, we'll be able to pop this cover off. With our bolt removed, we'll be able to pry up on this panel here. There's some pushing tabs that you can disconnect. We really only need this front side up so that we can drop our harness into the open channel underneath. And feeding it into the engine bay, like so. And then we'll just kind of thread our wire back here. And make sure that you leave the proper slack at the top. Like so. And then we'll be able to push this cover back on and open our engine. Reinstall our bolt here, open our engine hood, I should say, and then connect for power. Now that we've got our LED bar harness here run into the engine bay, we'll be able to take our harness side and matching up the notch here with the notch in the opening here, we'll be able to fully seat these two plugs together. And then we're going to bring our lock ring collar over the connection and connect it all the way down. That's going to bring those rubber seals together, making sure that we've got a full IP68 waterproof connection. Now we'll be able to hook up our harness side to the battery of our truck. So to do this, we're just going to use a size 10 socket or wrench. We'll remove this bolt. Like so. And then we'll just put our ring over the battery terminal and reinstall our nut. And then we're going to repeat for our ground terminal. Make sure both nuts are firmly tightened, and then we'll be able to connect our harness to a switch. Now we've got three options to hooking up our harness to switch. You can run a switch into the cab of your Bronco, or you can use our wireless switch system. But if your Bronco is equipped with the upfitter switches, it makes it really easy to connect to this bundle of wires here and operate the bar right with your aux switches, which is excellent. So this Badlands is equipped with those switches, so we're going to utilize those. And we're going to utilize aux switch 1, which is yellow on this Badlands. It's completely yellow. So we're going to connect our blue wire from our harness here using our easy quick splice connector. So all you need to do is run this wire here inside this channel of this easy quick splice connector, like that. And then we're going to run our blue wire on this open channel there all the way through. And then we're just going to take some pliers. I'll grab those. Try to do it so you can see it on the camera here. And then we're just going to push down on that metal tab. That's going to connect these two wires like so. Make sure it's all the way down, and then we'll fold this over. And now our harness is connected to aux switch 1, and that will be controlling our bar. At this point, we can use our zip ties to clean up any excess harness, and then we'll also make sure that the LED bar harness is secured to the windshield. Now that our harness is installed and connected, it's a good opportunity to make sure we have the proper length of wire here on the windshield, and you can go ahead and make sure this cowl is reinstalled along with your Torx 30 bolt. The last thing that we want to do is make sure that our wire here is attached to the windshield. So we run it into this, basically the gap between the windshield and the body of the truck, and it actually stays really solid, especially if you've got the right slack pulled out of it. But I'm going to go ahead and add some of this RTV silicone as well, especially along this line here, just to help it give that stay, just so in case anything hits it, it doesn't pull it out of that channel of the windshield. So I'm going to add a bead of this silicone on this inner edge. This won't hurt your paint or anything like that, and it's easy to remove if you need to. Just like that. And then be sure to let this cure out for at least 30 minutes before you go driving. If you notice any extra spots, you can always add more. Once this dries up, it's going to be clear and you won't be able to see it. If you do get any extra anywhere, just go ahead and clean it now. It's much easier when it's wet than after it cures. Okay guys, that's all there is to getting our 210 watt Cree XTE Paladin bar installed on your 2021 and up Ford Bronco. It's incredibly bright. We guarantee you're gonna love it. Plus it gives the Bronco a great aggressive look even when you're not utilizing the light. You can check it out at f150leds.com where you'll find all of our custom built LED lighting products built specifically for your Ford Bronco. We really appreciate your support. We look forward to seeing you soon at f150leds.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube to stay up to date with all of our Bronco content. Thanks again, guys.